9 o'clock. I know you guys want to come here to hear about the topic and probably the extra credits, but everything works. Thank you so much, guys. So, presentations. So I'll be talking about choices in life, the minimalist approach to a better lifestyle. So this presentation is not going to be lecture-wise or scientific bound. It's just a sharing of me, of my journey to learning about minimalism, and I guess it's really interesting and beneficial to share with you guys. And my advisor is Dr. Matthew Han. He cannot be here because he has a conference, but he has a big part in these presentations. So to start off my presentations, I have 2 pictures over here, and I want to ask you guys, so looking at those 2 pictures, which painting makes you feel calmer?
The one on the right.
This one?
Yes.
Does anyone think this one is more calmer?
I think
Okay, there's no right and wrong answer for this, but for most of us, the right one is more calming, and I'll explain later why. Okay, so what's minimalism about? So there will be 3 points in my presentations. First, I'll say the problems, which I will put a lot in research studies to back off my answers. And the second, I'll explain what is minimalism, and the third one is how is it and how do we do it. So for this presentation, there will be a lot of photos. So what I would ask from you is to look at the photos clearly and then try to visualize your life, your home, your relationship with other friends, and realize your feelings. Like, how do you feel? How do you connect with the concepts? Because this presentation is very personal. So just visualize everything. So here's another 2 pictures. I want to see if you can raise your hand, if you can recognize this is how your wardrobes might look like. If it's you have a lot of clothes and it's a little bit messy, like yours. Okay, so mine too sometimes. Yeah, that's how our wardrobe is, because we tend to accumulate a lot of stuff, and we are humans of eyes. We see something nice and we bought it, we accumulate it, and that's our possessions, right? We are proud of it, but is this a problem? Maybe, we don't know because we're not aware of it. So I'm just gonna jump in and then tell you more about it. Not just clothes. For girls, we have makeups. For guys, we have technologies, a lot of other stuffs, decorations, social media overload. So, do you guys recognize these problems? That we have accumulate a lot of things, not just products of material, but also relationships. A lot of relationships. These pictures are just to get you guys to realize, oh, I'm having a lot of things in my life, but am I happy or not? We tend to accumulate things because as human beings, we thrive to own a lot of stuff. We think overabundance is freedom. So we're free to do whatever we want. We're free to get all the satisfactions from all the products that we get. But the truth is, in the modern era, not a lot of people have lived happily. We're stressed. We're not satisfied, we're not happy, and we don't know why. We think it's because of us, we're not worth it, or because of our relationship with other people's. For some reasons, we're not happy, we're stressed every day. And we tend to buy makeup to make you look prettier every day so you can be more confident, but at the end of the day, you might not be that confident. You still have self-esteem problems. And for social media, we get a lot of text messages from your friends, from Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook a lot. It's overflowing, but still, there's something missing there. We're not really truly satisfied, and I wonder why. So that's the problems. I just have a little pictures here saying this guy has a lot of stuff, cars, Visa, all the fun with drinks and technology, everything he owns, but he is still not happy. So here I come down to the reason why too many choices and overabundant and overflowing make us stressed. So I actually have a personal anecdote to this. I'm an international student, A lot of you are international students, and we're living a life of constant moving. So we have to move a lot through the planes from home to here, and we have to store a lot of stuff, and it's just a lot of packing. And I feel like it is such a hassle and burden to just carry all this stuff together. And as college students, like most of us here, sometimes I just go to my room, sit down, and say, oh my God, I'm stressful. I'm burning out as a college student, too many homework. And I don't know why. And then I start looking around my room and see, oh, I bought this really cute pillow. It's gonna make me happy, but it doesn't. It does not serve the purpose anymore. I wonder why. So I started looking up minimalisms, and I find, oh, because the objects that we own, that is bringing us away from ourselves. And that's when I start to dig into minimalism. First, I started with YouTube videos and articles online. And then as a psychology major student, I started to look into scientific research. And I found two research. I'm gonna cooperate here in our PowerPoints. So why too many choices bring us stress? We're not aware of this. None of us. So there are a lot of reasons, but I have come down to 4 reasons for main ones. So the first one is time consuming, really time consuming. So before you buy a product, you take time to choose the products, compare the products, then you go shopping. The mall can be far, and then you have to consider it, the price, the sales and everything, and then you bring it home, you're so happy and eager to use it, then use it for a long time. And then in between the process, you have to clean it, find it. When is the last time that you have to find your phone or your key under a pile of papers? And it takes all your morning, right? And when's the last time you have to think about, oh, what I should wear in the morning? How long should I spend to perfect my makeup? A lot of times, very time consuming. My personal story would be when me and my friends hang out, we have to pick one movie to, they laugh because they know. I have to pick one Netflix movie to spend the night. There are so many choices, thousands of movie titles, but we spend 30 minutes looking for the right one. It's just time consuming for the same amount of happiness you're gonna have after watching the movie. So that's one of the small aspects we have to look into. And the second reason, I'm just gonna come down here, is a lack of sense and self and commitments. So a group of researchers from the University of Melbourne in Australia, they did a research, and what they found is that hoarding and hoarding related actions was associated with an uncertain sense of self-worth. So the reason why we accumulate a lot of stuff, it was to detach ourselves from the outside world. We are scared that our self-worth is not enough. We're scared that we're not enough for other people. And we're scared that our identity and our self-esteem is gonna be harmed by some external factors. So we accumulate stuff to de-stress. So when you're stressed, you go shopping. So you buy a lot of stuff. When you're stressed, you go eat, and you overconsume it. So there's an underlying reason under it of why we're hoarding too many stuff and cluttering and everything. Because for the stuff that we own, we don't really see the value in it. We want the objects like the phone or this piece of clothes, this makeup to represent ourselves. And then we're just staying away far from the value of the products and yourself. Just a sense of self-worth. We think all these products gonna make us look better. And the third reason I come up with is the less satisfactions. So there's a story, the research study. It's called a chocolate study. So there are 2 groups of participants. The first group were giving 30 pieces of chocolate types. They have 30 chocolates, and the second group have a box of only 6 chocolates. So obviously we might think that the first group is more satisfied because we have more choice. But what they found is that more choices given to them give them more excitement. So when people give you a box of 30 chocolate, will you be happy? Yeah, yeah, because you get to eat all of them and then you get to taste all the flavors. We were excited. But what they found after the research is that they tend to be more frustrated, because frustrated and less satisfied. So at the end of the research, they give the participants options. So if you can leave the research today, do you want to keep the box of chocolate or do you want to get money? So the group from the 6 chocolate, they'll keep the chocolate box. But the first group of the 30 chocolate box, they will get the money. So what they found is that they are not satisfied with their choices, not with the chocolate. Because of overloading and it's called cognitive load. When you have to do a lot of thinking and decisions making, you lose your interest. So less satisfactions if you have a lot of clothes in your wardrobes. Less satisfactions if you have a lot of stuff accumulating in your house. And that's true with some people, like for gamers, you have a lot of games in your little USB thing. You think you'll be satisfied with all the games you have, but when it comes to, I have to pick this game or that one, you lose interest because nothing stands out for you. So less satisfactions. And less satisfactions bring us stress. All of this bring us stress. And the last one I want to talk about is fail to distinguish wants and needs. I think this is a big one, because something we wants doesn't mean it's something we need. If we fell into the traps of buying just what we want, we are going to a loop. For example, I went on sales on H&M. It was a good sale. I don't really need that much of clothes. I don't need that tops, but it's on sale, so I bought it. I accumulated. It was on a good sales. I'm happy, and I believe all those clothes are gonna make me look good and more confident. So I wear it for a long time, and then I started to realize I didn't even touch that piece of clothes. I don't have time. I don't have the right occasions to wear it, or I only wear it for one day and one time, and that's it. And then because you have been accumulating too much, you have to get rid of things to welcome new thing in. You start to get rid of things. But the thing about human being, it's a sense of attachment. When we buy something, when we get into a new relationship, we're attached to it. We cannot let it go. So it's really hard. So it's really hard to let go of something, even a piece of clothes. And then you stress out about it. I don't want to get rid of this. I'm just going to keep this. And then it's just a loop. You cannot get rid of it. You're stressed, and then you don't know what to do. And then you're stressed, and you have to go buy more. And then it's just a loop going around and around. So really distinguishing the wants and the needs, if you think about it, we don't really need that much. Maybe you need one pair of shoes to go to the stores, to schools. But a lot of us tend to think, I need a shoes to go to the stores, and a pair of shoes to go to school, and one pair of shoes to go to a party. We have little items to serve little purposes. But as human beings, I think we're really simple. We're making our life more complex. So the last points here bring me to the second point. So I have a little activities. So when you go shopping, do you tend to think, is this product the best one on the market that has all the ultimate feature I might need? So how many of you think like that? Like, is this the best option? It's gonna serve me the best. Okay, I think that's more of us, because we want the best thing for ourselves. And then there's the second type of person. So you go shopping and you will ask, does this option going to be enough and fulfill my need? Does anyone think like this? Some? Okay. I see less percentage than the first one. And it's okay. There's no right and wrong answer. So if you answer with the blue balloon thing, you're called a maximizer. And if you answer with this one, you're called a satisfier or a minimalist. So a maximizer is someone who's exhaustively seek the best. You compare decisions with each other's, and you spend more time and energy to choose the right one. And like the chocolate research, you're more likely to be unhappier with the outcomes. Because when the product doesn't serve your needs anymore, you lose interest, you lose your satisfactions with it. And the second one is satisficer. Enough is good for you. You accept good enough. You're not obsessed with over different options. You move on after deciding, and then you're more happy with the outcomes. Because what your core belief and need is the crucial needs of the products. You know. Okay. So the solution is minimalism lifestyles. So minimalism is not living with less. I'm not gonna tell you, hey, go home and then get rid of all your stuff and only live with 7 items. That's not possible. Minimalism is about making room for what matters. So the intention is important. You have to think, as a college student, as a professor, as this human being, what is important for me? So I just have 2 little pictures to tell you. I found this in Google, and it's really minimalist. Why minimalism? Of all the reasons I told you why overthinking, overloading, and cluttering bring us stress. So minimalism, reclaim your time, so you save your time. You live in the moment, which brings you more self-awareness and at the same time bring you less stress. You save money, of course, because you will have more self-controls and you don't go buy stuff excessively. 4th is focus on health. 5th, rid of excess stress. 6th, environmentally more conscious. And then you give more value and purposes to the thing that you own. And then 8th is peace, is the final purposes. If you think about objects, do we tend to be slaves to our objects, to our clothes, to our makeups, to our friends, to our phones and laptops? But you're not in charge of your own self and your self-esteem. The object is there to serve yourself, to make you feel better, not to bring you stress. And we tend to give more value and attention to our objects, anything you name it, but not yourself. And then see yourself stress out. And that's not the point of living. The point of living is to have those stuff serve us. So yourself has to come first. So how do we do it? The first one is to adopt the attitude of a satisficer, then a maximizer. A satisficer, you're proud and you are satisfied with what you have because your needs is fulfilled. Don't be a maximizer. Maximizer is not a wrong thing, but we need a balance of both because a maximizer tends to stress more because if the benefits of the products go away, you lose interest, you're not satisfied anymore. You want the best of the best, but sometimes we don't really need it. We need our needs to be fulfilled. The second one is just reduce your options. When you have to buy a shoes, just think about the number one brand that you like and then stop there. You don't need to go to other brands and do a lot of comparison between 100 objects. Determine what is really important and spark joy within you. This comes with relationships, clothing, anything in your house that you can tell. Does this object really spark joy for you? Just pick it up and look at it. Do I use it often? Do I feel confident with it? If not, you can just let it go. Don't be tricked by sale. That's one of the biggest things. Because for us college students, sale is the best. But when it comes to sale, you don't really buy the thing that you need. You buy a lot of stuff because it's on sale. 5th one, learn how to let go. It's really hard, and there's no right way and solutions to tell you how to do it. The only thing I can tell is that be more awareness of ourselves. Give away objects that do not serve any purposes in your life, because at the end of the day, it's just gonna be blocking